This is one-on-one session with the Forum IAS founder and director Ayush Sinha. In this session, students are asked questions to test their preparedness for the personality test. One-on-one sessions are not mock panel sessions.
Can you begin by introducing yourself to me?
Yes, sir. So I am Raj Krishna. I was born in Patna, Bihar, and I have completed my secondary schooling from DAV Public School, Dehradun, and my senior secondary schooling from Delhi Public School, Bokaro Steel City. I have graduated in chemical engineering from IIT Guahati in 2018. And apart from academics, my other passions are podcasting, breakdancing, and developing self-utility web applications.
Very good, Raj Krishna. So you are from interested in computers and computer sciences. Can you tell me what is the reason that Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter?
Sir, the reason that Elon Musk cites for being interested in Twitter is mainly his battle for free speech and equality of speech. So that is his main agenda as he cites. But there will also be some economic benefits underlying the deal because Twitter is one of the social media giants, and Elon Musk being an entrepreneur will always have a soft corner for such economic gains. So both the economic gains and free speech are there.
So Raj Krishna, we often go for cloud seeding to bring rains in areas or at times when we are unable to have rainfall. What chemical do we use for cloud seeding?
So silver iodide is usually used for cloud seeding. Other than that, I'm not able to recall other chemicals, but there are some.
How does it work? How does it lead to cloud seeding?
So these small particles of silver iodide, they act as nuclei, where all the other water molecules can come together and form the cloud. So water molecules are already present, but they need a nuclei to get condensed too, and that is acted by the silver iodide.
Okay. Raj, so you are from Bihar. What is the reason that Bihar remains a backward state today?
So the backwardness of Bihar is a complex and is affected by different factors. Some of them can be. So first is the historical freight equalization policy, which created a disincentive for industries to be set up in Bihar. And also, so during the British times, the textile industry in whole of Bihar was ruined, and it became primarily an agricultural state. So after the 1980s, caste-based politics took the dominant stage and development took a backseat in Bihar. So it was not able to get the benefits of the LPG reforms that the country undertook. And also the poor human resource capacities, especially in terms of literacy and English speaking capability. So in those terms also Bihar lost out. And that is why there are no manufacturing as well as software industries presently in Bihar. And it is mainly based on rain-fed agriculture. And that is why it is poor.
You did not. Did you talk about any sort of misgovernance that Bihar faced?
Sir, it was the result of caste-based politics only in the 1990s. But now that misgovernance is being shifted to good governance by our Chief Minister Susashan Kumar.
If you were an appointed an advisor to the Chief Minister of Bihar,
Yes.
What areas of economy would you like to focus on? Think and tell me the answer. Don't give me a very conventional answer that I will promote agriculture, because agriculture is stories of agriculture is over. There are too many people trying to do it. So with respect to Bihar, what areas of economy would you focus on if you wanted to boost Bihar's economy?
So three main areas that I will focus on if I'm acting as an advisor to the Chief Minister. So first will be promoting the food processing industries. There is a lot of potential in Bihar, especially in terms of unique foods such as makhana, which is in which Bihar is a leading producer. And also in terms of jute and sugar industry, Bihar can do wonders. So the food processing will be the first focus. And second will be setting up of mineral-based industries, especially in the South Bihar, where the Kaimur and Rohtas hills are quite rich in mineral resources. And so third will be promotion of software and IT parks in Bihar, especially in cities like Patna and Darbhanga, where there are ample people with good engineering degrees, but they are unable to find jobs. So these three will be the prime focus.
What do you think is the reason, or what needs to be done by the government to induce the software industry to invest in Bihar, according to you?
So first will be the infrastructure building, good quality roads, power availability, and water and electricity availability. All that needs to be in the put there in the first place. And second will be the benefits of tax holidays or special economic zones can be built up. It is recently being done in Patna, but more such SEZs need to come up in Bihar. And sir, third will be to incentivize the local population of Bihar to create their own startups and companies that are located in Bihar.
Is there corruption in Bihar?
Yes, sir, corruption is prevalent in Bihar.
How does corruption in Bihar differ from, say, corruption in southern India?
Sir, I don't have much exposure to answer that question because.
Okay. What is the nature of corruption in Bihar? Have you ever faced any sort of issues of corruption?
No, sir, I have not have a first-hand experience with the corruption in Bihar.
You have built some self-utility web applications.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about what applications you have built?
Yes, sir. Sir, I started in getting interest in these web applications after my graduation. So I have taken some baby steps. First was the test taking tool that I used for solving the different mock tests for prelims, where I can just upload the test paper and it gets converted into interactive quiz format. So at the end, I just have to submit the test and it gets automatically checked and the whole analysis is given. And second was a tool for note making, in which the highlighted portions of the PDF can automatically get extracted and saved in a different note file. And so one I also created for my father during the pandemic, as he's a teacher, so he has to check a lot of copies. And during the pandemic, students were sending those copies over WhatsApp, and he had to trouble navigating through those files. So I created a portal where students can upload all their answer sheets, and my father can easily navigate through them.
All right, Raj. Krishna, you have also stayed in Bokaro.
Yes, sir.
I was traveling from Bihar to Jharkhand and I saw that the condition of roads in Jharkhand was better than that in Bihar. When I discussed with engineers and with other people, the logic that was given to me was that roads in Jharkhand are in better shape than Bihar because of two reasons. One is that there is less corruption in Jharkhand in road construction department compared to Bihar. The second reason that they gave me was that there is a very strong mining lobby in Jharkhand, which ensures that road transport is very smooth. Otherwise, it will lead to losses. Therefore, they ensure good roads in Jharkhand. Why I believe that there could be some partial truths in these arguments. But if you see the topography and geography of the areas, there are other reasons why roads in Bihar are poorer compared to Jharkhand. Can you think and tell me what is the reason?
Sir, one reason I can think of is the recurrent floods in Bihar, even in cities and capital cities like Patna, where every other year there is a flood and water gets accumulated on the roads and sewers. So that can be one reason why they are in poor condition in Bihar.
We are aware that there is coal shortage happening in the country.
Yes, sir.
Despite having good reserves, what is the reason that we are having coal problems in the country?
Sir, the recent coal crisis was not mainly due to lack of availability of coal, but due to mismanagement of coal, and different reasons for that mismanagement. First was the suddenness of the demand of coal that increased, and the authorities and the supplying agencies weren't ready for that demand. So because of that, the crisis happened. Coal India had coal reserves sufficient for the country, but they weren't able to transport it on time. Coal demand, they were far below than what the actual demand was. And second was the issues in the different departments, especially on the prediction of the coal demand. So the power sector and the coal sector, they both were not coordinating to address the demand carefully, and that is why the coal crisis occurred.
Are there certain structural or institutional challenges with our PSUs?
So the public sector undertakings of India, they have some structural challenges. First will be the seniority based promotion, or the promotions not mainly on
No,
merit.
that is going too deep into them. My point is there not a monopoly issue with respect to coal extraction?
So there was a monopoly issue up to 2019, but then the monopoly was disbanded. The Coal India was not the only company in coal sector, and it was allowed for other players as well. So
Alright. Secondly, you said that there was a forecasting problem, that we are unable to forecast and there is a sudden demand. I will tell you something. At least for the past 8 years, there is always a sudden demand in the month of April, May. There is always a sudden demand, and the issue is every year we have the same issue. It's like saying that in Delhi we suddenly have an air pollution in the month of November. It's not sudden. So there is no forecasting problem there.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Raj, what is your motivation for joining civil services?
So my main motivation for joining civil services is the job satisfaction that it will provide at the end of the day. I'll be satisfied with the work that I am doing and the impact that it is creating on others' lives. Uh, my official duties will be able to change lives of the common people on ground in reality. So that is what is my greatest motivation.
All right. Raj, one last question. So in the past decade, we are increasingly seeing that engineers from IITs, except computer science engineers, most of the students who are applying for civil services from IITs and NITs are from, let's say, electrical or mechanical or even chemical, not computer science engineers mostly. What is the certain reason behind this trend? Do not tell me your reason. Tell me what is the sudden reason behind, engineers from these streams particularly going for civil services. Think and tell me the answer.
So the main real reason why it is so is that industrial demand of the computer science engineers is met by what they are being taught in the universities. So their jobs are dependent on what they learn in their college. While in other departments, the industrial demand is not so, and they have to learn something extra to get a job. They either have to crack gate to land a job at PSUs, or they have to do some other IT sector skilling to get a job in that sector. So many of the students, they, instead of learning something new and going for another exam, they go for civil services because it is a more satisfying job, and it has also a very good career opportunity. So since they have to learn something new, so they start learning the syllabus of the civil services exam.
All right, Raj, your interview is over.
Thank you, sir.